Sean, we are here in Toronto. In fact, we are actually up in the sky overlooking Toronto at the CN Tower. In fact, it is 346 meters for our Canadian friends and about 1,100 feet for our American friends. And we are just taking in the city views. Have you done this before, Tom?
Yes, I have. I think I was probably 7 or 8 years old, so it's been a while. It's cool up here. It's definitely different than I remember it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it as high as you remember, or do you not recall? It was a long time ago, 20 years.
All I remember is standing on like the glass floor when I was a kid, and obviously thinking it was like the craziest thing in the world. So it's an amazing. I have more of a respect maybe now, an appreciation for the view.
Yeah.
But it's something that's a staple here at home, and something you can see from pretty much anywhere in the city, and it's a cool skyline.
Well, we are here for All-Star Weekend, your hometown. You live 20 minutes away from here, but this is your second All-Star Weekend, so do you feel a little bit more comfortable now that you know what to expect?
Yeah, I mean, these things keep you on your toes. There's always new things happening, and the game's always growing, and the show's always getting bigger, so it's a little bit more comfortable. You know your way around a little bit, what to wear and all that. But it's cool to see the guys that you played with in Vegas and here, and all the guys from around the league. It's always the thing that I look forward to the most, is getting to hang out and just take it all in.
Growing up in a city with as rich of a history as Toronto has with hockey, what was it like playing that sport here?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of everything. You put a pair of skates on when I was 2 or 3 years old, had a backyard rink, and from there it was my whole life from that moment on. So I loved it from the very get-go, and to be able to come back here is obviously very full circle to be in the All-Star Game and taking it in Toronto.
You played other sports growing up, right?
Yes,
So
pretty much everything.
Did living here have an impact on choosing hockey, or was hockey the best sport for you? What do you think this city had?
I think hockey was always the dream. It's part of our culture here, and it's something that you dream about from kind of day one as a kid. So it's been cool to text my friends that I grew up playing on the backyard rink and kind of saying, hey, we did it. This is kind of what we always dreamt about, and to play in the NHL and to be in an All-Star Game. That's what you reenacted when you were 10 years old in the basement or on the rink, so it's pretty cool.
I mean, speaking of that, there's pictures of you rocking your North Toronto Hockey Club. If you told that little kid that you would be here in Toronto at an NHL All-Star Weekend, would he believe you? Would 8 years old Tom Wilson believe you?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably that kid over there screaming when I was 7 years old here back in the day, but it's, I don't think I would ever have believed that. Literally, it sounds cliche, but it literally was a dream as a kid, and pretty fortunate and lucky, and to be able to be here and reflecting on such an amazing ride and journey in the NHL and Washington. I feel like a pretty lucky guy.
We have a different view of the city here. Can you point out directions of where you grew up, where your rink was, any of that? Do you know?
Now you're testing me.
Do you know?
So I live north, like uptown. Honestly, the city's getting so busy now that I can't really even tell.
Well,
but
this is the main drag, right? Because
Yonge Street goes right down, and then probably where it clears a little bit for more residential up there. And then I had a couple condos down right in the mix down here, and then the lake's behind us on this side. So south, you'll hit the lake, north towards my house, and then a lot in between that.
So for anyone that's visiting Toronto here this weekend or in the future, when you do come home, you're here in the off-season or on a trip with the Caps, what restaurants or things to do would you recommend in the city?
Oh, I mean, the food, the restaurants, everything's great. It's a really fun city in the summer. You got the Jays, you got baseball, you got a lot of fun bars and restaurants. The lake's awesome, there's beaches. It's a little cold in the winter. I may not recommend it for our southern friends, but this is one of the cooler parts of the city, and something that it'll always feel like home when you fly in or when you look at the skyline. The CN Tower has obviously been a staple, and as the city continues to grow.